Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on the next episode of Fort Prairie, an Alberta themed city. Welcome back to the town that we've been building, or the towns I guess, that we've been building. Yesterday's video we did a rail extension and also built the small farming slash rail town of Brownsville Crossing, and in today's video, we are going to be continuing that build of that small little town, and then we'll dive into some other things as the episode plays on. We'll see how much time we have, and that'll depend on what we do. But I hope you liked last episode. We did a bit more rail building than I expected to. I did some tweaks to the rail we did yesterday. Oh, hey, here's Brownsville Crossing. We brought the rail all the way to the edge of the map. And I didn't really like how much elevation there was, so I have been playing around with the elevation of the rail line, and now majority of it is on the ground. So that is something that I did off camera. Let's hop out and kind of look at this little town, Brownsville Crossing here. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of based off of a couple styles of towns that I kind of saw on Google Maps in Alberta and Saskatchewan. That were close to rail lines, and they tend to have their grids based off of the rail junction rather than the provincial grid system. So that's what we're kind of going for. I think we're going to extend it out a little bit farther into some of these other areas, but I'm also not going to do too much over here because I'm going to let this play out a little bit longer before I make a full decision. But this rail junction here, which is a beautiful little asset, I am debating whether or not I want it on this side or if I want to put it on the other side of the tracks. It might be more beneficial to put it on the other side, but I feel like it's going to really have to play into the farm build for the Jefferson farm. So we'll see how that works, but let's look at the rail line. So I kept the elevation over the roads here. But this is where I started to change things. I started to lower the rail at this point because it was rather high, and then we start going down. It is under 2% all the way to about here, and then it's pretty much flat all the way along, and I didn't change too much along this area. But it's a very used train line. All these cargo trains love to use this line, which is fantastic because it's going to bring a lot more rail cars through our town here, and yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of rail kind of piling up over on this side. So we'll definitely need to work on stuff in the future over here. Like I'm thinking perhaps getting a second cargo terminal on this side because I want to get a factory in here when the time comes. But we kind of just started building Brownsville Crossing, and then we kind of just ended because of the time of the episode. So really all we have in here is residential, and that's great because we have so much residential demand. But if we go to our land value here, it's not exactly the most desirable place in the world to live. So compared to, downtown Prairie Station. So let's get some city services over here in this area. And yeah. So let's start off with an elementary school. And since this is an old style town, we're going to go with the old style school. And, I'm thinking over here is probably the better spot for a school. There's lots of options. We could put it over here. That actually might work out pretty nicely, but I think I want to leave some space for other builds. So let's just grab a road here. I meant to grab the picker mod. And I'm just going to extend this road down into here. We're going to stop it, and this is going to be kind of like for the school. Let's actually bring this together so that there's a walking connection, and we'll get the school in here. So we're going to use an old style farmhouse, or old style farmhouse school thing, and we're going to place it right at the end over here. Yeah, it's a cool little asset. Actually, you know what? Let's move it. Let's put it more into the town. I didn't really realize what was kind of going on in the asset itself, and I think we should probably try to square it off at the end of a road instead. So how about we do it right over here? It's a bit closer to the rail tracks, but I think it'll look a little bit nicer having it right at the end of a junction here. And a lot of the garbage trucks are coming through the town. I've really played with the speed limits, and they shouldn't. I don't know what's happening, but the landfills over here, they should really just only use the outside roads. Because I've really bumped up the speed limits and cut the speed limits in Brownsville Crossing, but I never know if the garbage trucks are just there because they need to be, you know? Okay, so that was education. We're not going to get a high school over here. I think we're going to get a high school over in this area, so we'll have to get like a school bus or something. But a library, I think we can get a library over here. We'll just get like a little small public library and we'll place it right beside the school, I guess. Let's place it over here, actually. Maybe not. This is just a small little library asset that I have. Nothing too special about it. Let's put it over here. Just, you know, it's for small towns. So that's education. Let's go into healthcare. We'll get a clinic in this town as well. I think we'll try to make this street a bit of the main drag. I suppose that when the town was built up, it probably would have wanted to stay a bit closer to the rail line. So, and since this was someone's farm, and they built their own rail line, and the province probably built the rail through their farm, got a surrender for the land, I guess the town probably wanted to build it as close as possible. So let's get that let's get the healthcare facility in. Let's put it right here. You know, utilizing the asset responsibly, so it looks like the parking's a bit closer to the corner here. So that's healthcare. We need some death care. Let's get a cemetery in the town. So I'm thinking we might actually go with this one, which has like a church built into it. So let's think about this really quickly. We're saying roughly that this is east, this is west. So I believe when you build a church, they have the steeples facing east as much as possible. So it's a bit off, but perhaps we can place it over here or something off of one of these grids. It also need to be pretty close to the center of town. I don't mind this one right over here. There we go. So that actually works for death care as well. Okay, so and we need some fire coverage. Let's get a fire station in, and this one will be a bit more out of the way. Let's put the fire station. Let's see. So the fire station probably would be a newer build. So I think maybe we can look at getting it off of this area over here. So why don't we bring this road across like this? Let's get rid of these trees here. And let's get the fire station in over here. So I guess we can place it anywhere really. Right over there. And we need a police station over here, I'm guessing. Yeah, probably. Okay, so we'll go with one of the older style ones. And we'll put it over here closer to like the main drag of the street. So let's put it... let's actually put it over here. I feel like that's a bit better. Yeah, that works. All right, so that's the next service. We got buses, probably would be the following service. We already have garbage. Post office. So let's put the post office over here. Yeah, that works out great. Alrighty, and parks will be the next one. So let's get the small playground, and let's place this close to. Let's maybe have the large playground. That might work. No, perhaps not. Let's do the small one. Let's put it right beside the school, and then let's build a bit of a park around it as well. Let's do that, and then let's see if we can try to make it connect into here. Ooh, let's just turn off everything but nodes. And let's just grab that, and we can kind of see as if the park were to be connected. Then let's just drag this one over as well. And there we go. A couple trees in here. That's pretty nice. Now, should we utilize this land, or should we leave it open? We could probably bring a road in right here. Get some more houses through this this area. Let's just lower it a touch into the ground. It's probably a good idea to try to squeeze in as much as possible. Ooh, let's actually turn zoning off of this road. There we go. Get a bit nicer zones. Yeah, that works. And then let's try to also connect it up with this. Yeah, very good, very good. All right, then over here, I guess we can also get some housing. All right, so we're good over there. Let's get a few commercial buildings over this way. I don't want to get too many commercial buildings, mainly because I don't think this town would really have too much. So we'll try to mix it in with some residential. I think that would probably be a good idea. Let's throw it at 3-speed. And let's get a nice path right through here. That works. And then we can add some trees in this area to help fill it in. Very nice. The trees also, you know, kind of create a bit of a barrier as well. Alrighty, so I think we're gonna get another park in. I think that's probably beneficial. Nothing too crazy though. Let's go with the dog park. I think that might be nice. Let's put the dog park over here. Very good. Okay, and then we can get a bit more housing in here as well. Yeah, that should work out. Probably wouldn't be a house right there. It's like that's the intersection right there, isn't it? Yeah, so then there's this space over here. It would probably, we could probably treat it and just leave it. We could try to bring a road in as well though. I guess we kind of blocked off our two options, didn't we? To bring a road network in. Yeah, okay, let's move the park here. We'll put it a bit closer to the church. So I know we just covered up some zoning that we just made, but that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta call a bit of a mulligan. We'll bring this one over, but we're not gonna connect. And then let's grab a path, because it's a bit too far. So I'm just going to do that to create the connection. And you know, you always gotta watch out for these little nodes, but you can move it to just readjust some things. That's pretty nice. Okay, and then we can get houses right in here as well. Let's just try and delete this house and that house. Let's see, so I don't think a house is gonna go up in there. Let's try to keep these ones a bit smaller. We'll leave that land open. I'm not sure if a house is going to go there, but a house probably would grow up right there. And let's get some paths right beside the church here. Okay, let's turn off our guidelines really quickly, just so we can get a proper pathway through here. Let's turn them back on before we forget. And we need some more housing over here as well. And then we can fill in the rest. Okay. Brownsville Crossing is coming along, isn't it? Let's back this up. Okay, so we still have some more to do in this area. So we don't have any commercial out this way yet. It's a bit surprising. We do have the demand for it. So I think what might have happened is I think I might need to click international as well in here for these buildings to build up, because I currently have them at organic and local produce. And I know sometimes the district policies can kind of mess it up. Yeah, there we go. So here we go. They're starting to come in because this is an organic and local produce area. Let's try to fill this area in as well with commercial. We'll get a path running right down in here. And then we'll go back into some residential. So let's turn our guidelines off here, because you don't want to, when you're doing two different types of paths, I don't like to connect them together, because you can get some pretty interesting situations. It's probably good, and then we'll try to fill in blank spaces with some trees. Okay, and we already built this path for an earlier build, so I don't mind just kind of co-opting that. And then let's bring a couple more roads through. Ooh, gotta make sure those guidelines are on. You see? Okay, we'll do that. Could connect up here again. I don't mind that at all. Let's just make sure that we make the intersection properly. We'll just do that. And now let's get some more residential in here. Let's turn zoning off. I think that will probably help. Okay. We're good. Let's throw that in. Get housing right into here. All right. Very good, very good. So the last little spot we have is right in here, and then also across the way into Jefferson Farm territory. But since this was not really farmland, this is covered in trees, let's just take out these trees really quickly, and let's see if we can maybe get like a new residential development in this area. So let's turn on our topography. That's not too bad. Okay, so we totally can. So what I mean by that is getting like a new build is, you know, sometimes you drive by small towns and you're like, well, there's the town, and then there's these massive houses right outside of the town. That's kind of what I'm going for. So let's bring this one. Yeah, right in here I think is a good option. So we'll do that. Let's bring this out. Oh, let's just do a nice curve actually. Right into there. I think we can make a nice little park with that. And then we'll bring it down to a certain point. Let's try to use the terrain as a bit of a guideline. So let's actually delete that road and redo it because I want the zoning to line up perfectly. So let's go to about right here. There we go. And then we'll have another road right about here coming right down. Like that. And then let's leave big space, and this one's gonna go about halfway. Yeah, let's just delete this one really quickly, and we'll redraw it in just a little bit bigger than before. 6 units, that works. Okay, now let's turn some... Oh, wrong button, Steven. Let's turn some zoning off. We're going to turn zoning off of these roads here. Same with this one. And this one. Alright, and now we can get some nice larger houses in here. Okay, and let's just get some nice big trees. So we're going to be using the new trees. We've been using the live oak tree as a bit of like the tree of the build. So we'll use this to line this road here. And we'll do the same thing right down into here. Ah, water. You know, I wouldn't be a Cities by Steven build if I didn't forget water at some point, so I'm glad that it happened at this point in the build and not as we're trying to log off or something. Okay, so that's pretty nice. And we've got some big houses in here. Now let's get these trees back in and we'll kind of surround the firehouse again. And we'll try to use these trees as a bit of a marker for Jefferson Farm in the future. Yeah, because I'm not too sure if this is going to stay this way. We might just flip it, right? And then this area over here is either going to, you know, remain Jefferson farmland or not. Okay, so we could make this like a city park, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think a better option would probably be just to, well, you know what? We probably need a new water main soon. So let's check that out. Yeah, we could make this like a bit of a water tower park. And what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes when you're in these small towns, the water towers tend to be like at city land, right? So they tend to try to make a park around it. So I'll put the water tower in right here. Let's connect it up. Let's just make sure we know where we're connecting. There we go. And then we need an access point for the city trucks. So let's turn off our guidelines. We'll use a dirt road or dirt path. And we just gotta make sure it doesn't connect like that because we're trying to treat it like a road, right? And then what we do is we take a fence, and I tend to use the iron fences for this instance. And we'll block it off. Just like that. I think maybe we can move the water tower just a touch. Okay, and since we have that in place, now what we can do is either utilize this land for, you know, a bit more development, or we can make a park. And I think it's probably a good idea to try to use it as a park. I think that might be fun. Just like a quick little build, maybe a farmer's market. So we'll drag this one right across. Then let's grab node controller. Oh, there is a node right here. Perfect. I'm just going to try to use that. There we go. And let's go back to node controller. Make sure our guidelines are back on. Let's click it in. And we're going to make this a crossing. Since this is kind of the town. I mean, oh no! We lost the buildings. Oh, we're going to lose these ones too. It's funny because they look like rather wealthy shops, and you know, it doesn't necessarily blend well with the farming town style that I'm going for, but I think it kind of works in a different way. All right, so we got that in. So let's make a bit of a farmer's market, I said, but first we got to continue the path. So I'm just going to create a bit of a cross point right here. Alrighty, and let's go into the park tools, and let's just grab the yakisoba noodles. We're gonna make a bit of a line here. So let's just try and make them right against the path. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to delete every other one. Nice. Let's get, a couple of these other items as well. Maybe this is like a Saturday. And, there's a couple other people that come by try to sell stuff. So we got like a soda stand here. Let's get a food truck over here as well. And then let's just try and grab a few more of these, and we'll try and center these ones just by hand. All right, little farmer's market. And let's see. So we've gotten those ones in. I know there's a few more in here. There's a newspaper stand and a grill. I don't really think those ones really necessarily work, but I don't mind throwing that one down. Okay, and now let's grab these trees here. And let's do a few of these trees. They're so large, which it takes up a lot of space, which is nice. So you can kind of just use the trees to be the filler of the land. Okay, and we're just going to need to grab this and just readjust it because it looks like it's trying to glitch out a little bit. Oh, that's the fence. All right, we might need to leave that. Okay, very good. I like using these like interesting corners to build the little farmers markets. I think it tends to be nice. Let's turn zoning off of this curved road here, and let's instead bring a road off of it, perhaps. Perhaps we might need to use this road as a bit of a guideline. Like that. Bring this one right across. Well, let's just undo that. Didn't really work out that well. Okay, we'll just leave that. I think it's probably better if we just make this the commercial zone. And then over here though, what could we do? Well, I think we can just try to do some more path work. No, you know what? I think a road back here would work out pretty nicely. So let's turn our guidelines off and we'll just try to wing it a little bit. Let's pause the game because I'm going to need to change up some of the zoning. We'll try to line it up nicely. So I think if we do that, that's pretty even. There we go. We'll connect it up. We'll straighten it out. Let's do that. There we go. And then we'll go into the zoning adjuster and we'll say prioritize older roads. And hopefully the zoning won't really go onto the other side. And let's get a few more commercial buildings in here. Or you know what, it could be actually housing. Yeah, I think housing works a little bit better over here. Alright, so we can resume the game. Let's get those live oaks, put them in a line. Right through here. And we're not going to get a path connection on this side. I think we'll try and just fill in the space with some trees. Yeah, that works out nicely. Okay. Yeah, I think Brownsville Crossing really turned out pretty nicely. We really filled in every single corner of this area. And I think in the future, there'll be more opportunities to expand Brownsville Crossing with a small new development. But I think the town turned out pretty nicely. If we look at the zoning, we have the commercial zoning and the services kind of centered in one area. We have some older buildings pretty close to the rail crossing as well, which kind of works. And yeah, I think this turned out pretty nicely. So we're pretty far into the episode today, and we've only done Brownsville Crossing. That's totally fine. But there's a couple more things I wanted to do today, and I think seeing this and our high school availability going down, I think this has kind of pushed me to say, I think today we need to do the high school at this point. I was thinking about doing some lane management again, but since we've done so much road network today, or this week, I'm thinking we start off next week with that. We've been pushing residential as well with the new town. I mean, we have so much residential demand. We really need to get going on that before we can even really try and do any more industry. So I think the high school might be beneficial for that. But before we go and do that, let's check out the land value. Yeah, there we go. So there's some light green in the middle. That's really nice. We have a couple parks in here that really help that out. Yeah, I think we did a fine job. Okay, so let's go over here. This land has been vacant for quite some time. We're going to build a high school right off of this road. So it's a dead end right here, but it's pretty close to a major intersection. It's got a pedestrian connection at least, so that's good. Let's build a high school. And if you're new to the channel, my favorite high school is to use this larger one. We've already used it over here. We've already used it over here. Now, this is the third high school in this town, though. But we're not going to get a high school out in Brownsville Crossing. There's going to be a couple more developments over here. There's not going to be any high schools over there. I think the next high schools are going to be in the downtown area after this one. So in a way, this is going to really support the entire region. And these ones are both pretty much full. If we go to the high school, let me check this. This area really doesn't have too much. We could expand the budget for it, because the budget right now, because we haven't really shown the taxes and stuff, we haven't really moved them at all, is still at 100, and we could bump it up, and we could probably survive with 2 high schools. And I mean, imagine a town of 13,500 people with 3 high schools. It's a bit surprising, but I think it's probably... Let's actually try it out. I know I'm being a bit flippy-floppy here, but let's see what happens if we bump it up to 150. Let's let it sim for a couple cycles really quickly. Because if we can get away with just 2, I think that's probably good. And we don't have to do this right away, and we might think about perhaps revising plan for this area then, because originally the plan was high school in here, like in this area, and then doing a bit more light industry commercial along the train line, because over here's going to be a factory, probably going to get a connection over here into this area as well. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to have too many high schools, right? Ooh. This one's going up. Okay, so let's get a bus. Let's look at some of these buses here. Let's not just waste time. Okay, let's not do this actually. So we do have a bus that cycles from this side of town and goes over to the high school over here. But we don't have a bus that goes from Brownsville Crossing into town. So let's make a couple bus lines. We're going to make this one a school bus line. So people in Brownsville Crossing, they're going to all be on the same school bus. Let's get the school bus stop for Brownsville Crossing. Lots of parking in Brownsville Crossing. The school bus is going to stop out right in front of these buildings here. And it's going to go right from Brownsville Crossing. And it's going to go right to the high school. So it looks like it takes Jones Road. Oh, okay. Let's try to zoom out a little bit. Sorry about that. So let's see the route it's taking. So it's cutting through there. Or if we put it over here, it's cutting all the way down. I think it's a bit more direct. So we'll do this. This is going to be a school bus line, and it's going to go right back. And it's going to end up right there. Perfect. So let's take a quick peek at it. Bus line 8. This is the Brownsville Crossing school bus. And it's going to be yellow, of course. And it's going to be a school bus. Fantastic. And then we're going to have... see, I don't know if this... It doesn't really need... This town doesn't need a bus within it. I feel like everyone is probably fine with walking to the stores. It's not that far. But I think... Oh, wow. Look how many people are already here. I think maybe we get the city bus over here, and this one's gonna go over on this side. We're gonna get a stop. Just thinking it might be nice to try to get it to pull in by the farm, so let's try to do that. Let's see. So I kind of wanted to go down this road, so what if we get a bit of a bus road here? And we just bump it out like this. And what if we do something? Let's turn our guidelines off really quickly. We'll just do that. And then if I do this, we go into Network Multi-Tool really quickly. Create curve. It's not really a curve there, is it? Just click it in. Since we started to do it anyways, and we'll grab segments. Oh, did it not? Yeah, it looks like it really messed up. Let's try that again. Create connection from here to here, this node to this node. I guess it's too small. I was hoping that it would do it itself. It doesn't look like it is, so after all that, let's just do it ourselves. We'll just try and swing it around and in, and I'll just straighten it up with Move It here. Alright, so it's a bit funky. I'll clean it up a little bit off camera here. Let's get a nice tree here right in the middle. Let's get a couple more right in here. So that's pretty strong. Let's turn down the strength of these trees. Okay, let's just delete these two. And we have a bit of a bus stop over here, so let's try this again. So we'll have the school or the city bus go from perhaps we do it on this side instead. No, let's get it deep closer to the town. We'll just do it on that side. We might need to revise some of those houses then. And it's going to duck right down into here. And we'll get it to stop in the loop. And then it's going to go all the way down into town here. And where can we bring this? I think we'll bring it straight down. We'll connect up to the green lines here, and we'll connect it down into these white lines as well. These white and black lines. Let's get it to stop right in front of the church. Doesn't look like it wants to stay on the road here, so I think we'll get it to duck into town really quickly. Stop. Yeah, let's get it to go down here really quickly. Just because I want it to share this bus stop. And then we'll dive back down here. We can't go straight, even though he says we can. So we might need to put the bus stop over here. And then we'll get it to stop right in this area. And then back. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And then we'll have it stop on the other side. And then it'll cycle all the way back here. Alright, so why is there... No, okay, we're good. Bus line 9, this is Brownsville Crossing to Industry, I guess. Let's see, so it has 10 vehicles. Holy cow. Oh, it's right in there. Okay, so it'll probably even out over time. Let's use... Let's use the bendy bus, I think. Yeah, and let's try 8 vehicles maybe. And let's change the color to pink? I don't know. It's different than some of the other ones we've done. Then if we go back over here, let's check out the school bus. It's got 11 buses, 2 stops. I think we can probably knock that down to 8 as well. And we'll see what kind of happens here. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll leave that for now. Looks pretty good. I do kind of want to drag the bus stop into here, though, as well. Because, you know, as we develop this area, I think, you know, there's people with farms that have kids. They probably want to make sure that there's a bus stop for their kids. So that means we probably need to extend this out a little bit more. And these school buses make this turn. Looks like they can. Okay, fantastic. Lots of people, lots and lots of people. Taxi stand. I don't think taxis are gonna really work out this way. Okay, so it looks like we're good with pretty much what we've done in Brownsville Crossing. That is absolutely fantastic. We have tons of residential demand. We did buses. So decided not to do high schools in the end. Okay, well, I mean, the town is looking pretty good. We definitely need to, next week, look into getting this connection in ASAP. We also are probably going to try to do a bit more out this way next week as well. But it looks like we're in the red on a couple things. No, that's fine. Fire, we're in the red on. So we definitely need another fire station out this way. Okay, good to know. Let's do that right now. We'll add that in. Let's add it into the... let's add it right across the street from the water treatment plant. We'll just bump it out really quickly. Something like that. And let's just make it the same height as this. And we'll probably need to even it out. And then we'll smooth out the other side. Okay, fire station. Fantastic, so that should really help as well. Okay. Let's see how this is working. So we got lots of bus traffic. It makes sense. Things haven't really evened out yet. We might want to think about upgrading this road then. Whoa. So we're looking at highways over here. Doesn't really work because we need the pedestrian crossings. So I think what we might need to do is use... This is a lot of traffic. Holy cow. Use this road here. Upgrade that. And we'll upgrade all of this. First thing we need to do after doing that is checking the speed limit on here because I want to make sure that it is also at 80. Just like everything else. And why is a garbage truck coming through here? There's no reason for that. And this is a light. Okay, so we definitely need to get rid of the light. So we'll do this. We'll make it yield. And I think just some cars just got caught up. Okay, looks like some things have changed here. So let's make sure that we have that in place. We definitely need to get some asymmetrical roads on this side. So I guess we're doing some lane management right at the end of the episode here. Just not in the same place as we started to last week. Let's turn collision off. We'll need to do this side as well. And then we'll try to do the same thing over here. And yeah, I mean that works for now. I don't necessarily think we need to do too much more. Traffic seems to be fine over on this side. This is the area of concern. So let's just clear this out a little bit better. That's fine. We'll do that. Dedicated left. This one here, I guess we should also upgrade just right at the end. And for like the 15th time, let's give dedicated turning lanes to that one. And let's make sure that the speed limit's still 80. It's a bit unrealistic for the speed limit, but I want to make sure the cars actually use these roads and not try to go in a different direction. Okay, so let's grab these. Just make sure I'm just grabbing those. And I'm going to pull it over a bit farther so we get a bit more space. Looks like these bendy buses are having trouble with the terrain, or with the sharpness of the curve here, not the terrain. Holy cow. Send this out. Hopefully that gives us enough space now. And then we can come back and surround this with trees. Oh, collision was... Ah, okay, I remember now. Collision was off. You see? I keep telling you, like, saying, like, oh, you gotta make sure you have collision off. And I always forget myself, don't I? Did it not work? No, I did. Okay, it's just a lot of trees. Let's get rid of that one. It's fine to probably keep some of these ones. Alright. Hopefully that all starts to work out. Let's just go into here really quickly. I'll do a bit of tweaking in this regard. And just do this. And we'll say, just go through. No need to stop. There's no yield signs or anything like that. Just keep on going. What's going on with these folks here? They just stuck, or are they waiting for something? Waiting for the school bus. Okay, so something happened here. Let's go into the buses. The stop is over on this side, so we've got to make sure we move that. There we go. All right. I suppose it could probably be 2 lanes, but I think we'll leave it for now. We don't need dedicated lanes for these ones. Nor do I necessarily want crossings over here, but we can probably survive with it. Oh, and dedicated turning lanes on this side as well. And over here. I thought I did that already. Oh, I did. Okay. All right. So I think that's going to be it for today, folks. You know, we really did Brownsville Crossing here. We didn't end up doing anything with the rail line. I did get assets to decorate the rail yard. I just never really found time this week to do it, but I know that we're going to be back here in this area very quickly. Probably for a unique factory. I'm thinking the food factory over here, actually. I think it might be nice, but we're a little bit down the line from that one. But you know, we're gonna be building another rail yard over here, so I think we'll detail up the whole big Prairie Station yard over here. Next week, we're definitely going to get this connection in next week, probably with a supporting underpass diamond as well. Definitely be doing some more work over here in the Jefferson Farm as well. Maybe even looking at a bit more in Greenberg as we kind of plan a future with the downtown. But that's probably at least 2 weeks away before we even really start planning out the road network. But as you can see, we have this road here, which is unnamed. Holmes Road, I guess. Holmes Street. You know, this is going to be a main road into the downtown. Probably, if not the main road. So, you know, if you feel like naming that road, go ahead. We have a couple names for the downtown already in my book. So if you have any more names for downtown streets, let me know. But without further ado, folks, let's go into free camera mode here. And let's go into Brownsville Crossing. And let's get a nice little picture of the town here. Brownsville Crossing, a little farmer's market. Yeah, that works. Hope you have a great day, folks. I'll talk to you next time back in Brockton County. Peace out.